So a whole lot of really shocking incidents in sport this weekend. Let's speak to sports psychologist Sanchez Bailey, who joins us live now. Sanchez, for Raul Jimenez, who of course was out cold and then was taken to hospital, it's going to be a long road to physical recovery. What would be your advice to him about the reaction he might have over the coming months?
One of the things that's going to happen for him is there's going to be deep regret, and he's going to be playing back that scenario time and time again. And one of the first things that's important is for him to have support, for his loved ones to be around him, but also as he's able to come out of the hospital and for him to not disassociate himself from the squad completely. It's important for him to stay close to the team, and hopefully that's the responsibility that the players would feel, just to show that element of support. But from there, it's important for him to have goals, essentially. So, he has a whole rehab schedule with his physiotherapist and his strength and conditioning coach. But it's important for him to set goals every step of the way to not lose that edge of competitiveness.
Last time he was at Wembley, it's been almost 2 years since he's had fans. And I had fears going into this fight that there'll be no fans there. He might have been a little bit complacent for the fight. But the fact that he's going to have fans there, considering the time of year, the fans being back in a live sporting, arena, I think it's going to be exciting for Josh. I think he's going to be very keen to impress as well. So I do think it's going to be exciting. On the other, I think Floyd Mayweather created a crazy stigma in boxing where the O was so important to boxers. And so I think AJ's defeat is actually a blessing in disguise. I think it's made athletes a little bit more comfortable with the idea that you can lose fights as well. You think about all the greats that have lost fights, they lost quite a few. And so the fact that AJ has lost, I think it makes boxers feel a little bit more comfortable with the idea of losing.
I'm interested to know, Sanchez, in your job, how you find working with boxers amongst other athletes, because boxing as a sport is very different to any other sport. I mean, you're in there yourself, you've got no teammates around you except obviously the people in your team outside of the ring. And as well as that, it's combat. It is different to a lot of other sports, presumably, that you work with. Do you enjoy working with boxers?
Boxing is slowly becoming my number one sport. Football's a great sport of mine, but the thing is with boxers, it's very tough to kind of get into their minds a lot, because boxers have to have the image of them being invincible, being tough, so the vulnerable side is very hard to trigger, if I'm completely honest with you. But if you develop a relationship with the trainers, you're able to kind of get that relationship and get a little bit of honesty. So many fighters, when they do lose, sometimes they don't accept it, and if they maybe feel like they won the fight and they didn't win the fight, it's really kind of hard to get an athlete to see that side of things. But in terms of working with them, I think it's great. I do think with boxing, and I think I was speaking about it the other day, where AJ has a team around him. Sometimes having a team and an element of support is very vital for boxing, because boxing is a very, very lonely sport, and it's very easy to become, disheartened, psychological disorders, stress, depression. So I do think that having people around you and having support is very important.
You think he'll win it, Sanchez?
Yes. I think you'll win it, yeah. Round nine, mark my words.
OK, there we go. It's been really interesting having you on this afternoon, and please join us again soon here on Sky Sports News. Sanchez, thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Jasper. Take care. All the best.